Back again from break, and joining me now on the show is Kathy Threed, who is the president coordinator for the Coffee County Relay for Life. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Good to have you here. And we in this community, we're accustomed to, as many communities, Relay for Life events taking place in the month of April. So if you will, tell us the date, location, and times for this year's event.
Well, we jumped just a little bit. We're doing ours Friday, May the 1st.
That's true.
And it will be out at the track area beside the Board of Education. And our festivities will start at 5 p.m. and go till midnight that night.
What is the... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's, and in past they've done 24 hours or 12 hours, so we're doing the 6 hour, and that's what a lot of the groups are going down to.
Okay. So what is the purpose of Relay for Life?
The purpose of Relay is for your communities to come together and be able to fellowship and work together as teams to raise money to help American Cancer Society fight the battle of cancer.
And I know that it would not be successful if the community did not get involved and gather up teams to enter. So how do you go about soliciting teams, and who makes up the teams to participate?
The teams in our community, we've had as many as 25 or 30 teams in past years, or as few as 10 or 15. And the actual number of teams doesn't seem to really matter in this community, because as you guys will know, anything that any group in this community comes out in force for to raise awareness or raise money for, I have never seen Douglas and Coffee County not answer the call. Our teams over the last few years have predominantly and surprisingly been consistent of our schools, because cancer does not age differentiate. Little children to older senior citizens, there's no age limit. And we've had the sad effect that knowing that we've had quite a few children in our community that have contacted one form or another of cancer and going to school with their fellow classmates, these kids have stepped up. And this year's especially, over half of our teams are schools.
Youth groups that have stepped up through the school.
And kicking tail raising the money.
Well, what could you say to the community to get more adult and just more a variety of age, I guess age groups and all diversity of people involved?
I don't think that they're not involved. What our community has done is diversify in the different ways that it raises money. We're normally known to raise anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000. We're still raising that. Last year, ACS raised with our relay a little over $90,000, and that was just from the relay. But then you have in the fall, in September, our community has taken on the childhood cancer awareness, and I think they raised $30,000 to $50,000. And then, of course, here we go in October with everybody decking it out in pink, men and women alike, and they raised $40,000 or $50,000. So there's your other $100,000. So it's not that we're not raising it, but I think for a lot of groups, depending on what their passion is, if what type of cancer has affected their family, and they step out to raise the awareness. That's where your diversity is coming from, and it is all still helping. The numbers on the American Cancer Society charts are astronomical. You know, ACS is the grandfather of all the cancer fundraising associations, and all these others with the Susan G. Komen and the childhood cancers and the the Armstrong Association. They're all grandfathered under ACS and working together.
Okay. Well, as the teams form to participate in this event, I imagine most are challenged with what are some ways to raise funds. So
we got
what are some suggestions? Okay, well, share with us.
Some people, I think a person who might have been dyslexic, no offense, came up with one. What is prom spelled backwards? Morp. So the elementary school will do a morp dance, and that's their version of kids getting to get ready for prom. And the middle school did this, and I received a check for over $4,000.
Wow.
With the morp dance. And then they have this little chain thing that they pay a quarter to, and you know, like prayer chains. They're putting quarters out there, and the first check he gave me was for $1,000. they do car washes. They do. Someone told me the other day they're going to duct tape a principal to a wall.
Are you serious?
And the kids are buying pieces of the duct tape. That's a new one coming out. They sell T-shirts, car washes, bake sales. We've had pageants in the past. I mean, they go all out. And ACS this year gave us some sheets that's got a bunch of cool ideas to help them, whether it's school-based or whether it's church-based. ACS steps right in there and they help guide you along the way. If you create a team, they will give you ideas. But I'm tell you what, people in this community, they got some imagination. Who would think of pigs flying to raise $50,000?
Exactly.
Okay? So we get it done in Coffee County.
So if someone gets stumped on an idea, rather than not participate as a team, call you first. Maybe for some ideas.
Yeah, and then I'll pass them on to Blair, who is our ACS
well,
rep.
We'll give the numbers at the end.
Yeah, we've got good connections. Our corporate office in Brunswick, there's a whole team there that if I'm needing an idea or some help, I just pick up the phone, and normally they'll have one of them at our meetings too.
Okay.
So.
Well, good that you have a resource of ideas.
You also have the little birthday candle things, and you have the little footprint, and you can buy these or donate $1, put your family name on, and the teams or the businesses.
And I see these stuck on a lot of windows and businesses as you go in.
And it's just like with the muscular dystrophy and the different ones that have the 4-leaf clovers. This is ACS's take on it.
Okay. Well, good. Now tell us, share with everyone about your Luminary program.
This, to me, is the most important part of all, because the whole thing is about our survivors. And last week, Miss Daisy Whitfield and Sabrina Clark chaired our survivor dinner. And let me tell you, they went all out, and it was very awesome. And that's what this is all about, is to pay homage to our survivors who have won the battle, and their families had the opportunity to purchase a luminary. These are the $5 luminary bags. These are the $25 luminary bags. You can put it in honor of, if you have a loved one who is fighting the battle now. You can do it in memory of, if they've lost the battle. I always put one up for my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my mother for cancer. Usually people put one up. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor, so that's why I'm highly involved. We have a lot of people in this community that are cancer survivors. These bags are filled with sand in the bottom, and there's a candle put in them. And at dark, they are lit. And we do a special luminaria program after dark, and all the candles around the track are lit up, and we call out every name. And a couple of times there's been some, that part's so long, but if that part bothers you, just step away, because I'm going to tell you right now, if someone's name is bought 10 times, it's going to be called out 10 times.
Yes.
They have earned that badge of honor, and so that's the most important part of our evening, is to pay homage to those who are battling or have battled, won, or have gone on. I hate to say that they lost the battle. I just say God was finished with them on earth, and so they've gone on to heaven to rest, and their memories and the issues from their battle will help others. Our survivors are our hope, and that's what our theme is this year from ACS is hope.
Hope. Okay. Wow. Well, that is. I imagine I've never been to it. Seemed like there's always something going on that last weekend in April. So hopefully I'll make it this time in May.
Yeah,
because I know if it would have been in April, I would have missed it again.
Yeah, we bumped it up.
Yes. Okay. Now, you mentioned different ways that the teams and the whole program raise funds. Share with everyone how those funds are used and dispersed.
I'll tell you, with the money, a lot of people they've had issues. So I'm going to holler out some large numbers for you. In 2013, we gave cancer patients more than 380,000 rides to and from treatments or medical appointments. 1 million requests for cancer information via the phone, email, and online chats. 38 million in lodging costs by providing a free place to stay at the Hope Lodges or at hotels that are in partnership with them. They granted $31.8 million to the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network to ensure lawmakers make cancer a top national priority. We've marked a 20% decline in cancer death rates since 1991. That means more than 1.3 million lives were saved, and this year that breaks out to 500 people a day are saved. $4 billion in cancer research. $4 billion. 50% drop in smoking through our campaigns against tobacco, and that helps with the lung cancer death rates being lowered. 4 million people come together at Relay for Life events around the world to support the American Cancer Society and help finish the fight against cancer. And there were over 45 million visitors to our website, cancer.org, to get the cancer information and support. And I surfed through their website, and that, in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, we cannot cover everything. But if you go to the AmericanCancerSociety.org and just hit those tabs, you will be amazed. The names of the doctors that are on the research teams in each of the different fields, they're working on childhood cancer, they're working on breast cancer, lung cancer, all these tons of different types of cancer. This money, and a lot of people usually say, well, it just goes to admin, and it doesn't. Less than 2% goes to admin. 78% now goes to our cancer research, and they have a nice big chart. 72% goes to research, 28 goes to the grants and all this different stuff, and all this stuff you can see for yourself.
Well, the research is a very important factor in all of this.
And everybody says, well, I'll do my project and keep some money local, and that's awesome. But when you go to the doctor, the money that you raise locally to be able to get your child or you're the adult back and forth to that, that's not going to cover it. We don't have a research center here in Douglas just to cure all of our cancer in Douglas. We have to work on a bigger, broader picture and scope. And so, like with Beta Sigma Phi, they give a portion of their money to Susan G. Komen. It's just a large teamwork, a huge teamwork effort.
Okay. Well, Kathy, a couple more questions. We got to get in about 2 minutes before you close today. Just a summary of the activities, some of your sponsors. I know you have to have sponsors for this event.
We have some awesome corporate sponsors. Medicine Cabinet gave us $2,500. Douglas Lions Club gave us $1,500, and Southwire gave us $1,500. That's our 3 top corporate sponsors. Corporate sponsors come into play where if your business or as an individual you don't have time to raise the money, and it's easier just to write a check because you want to stay in part with it, then you can do that, and you get different little perks, the higher amounts of money that you give. And we've got a lot of businesses, Anderson, Buick, Pontiac, and Coffee Chrysler, Lot Properties. A lot of different businesses are doing that. They're giving us what they can, and every penny adds up.
Okay. Well, again, before you leave today, share the date, location, time.
Not this coming Friday, but Friday, May the 1st at 5 p.m. we will start with our survivor registration. 6 o'clock will be our survivor lap, then our caregivers lap, then our team captain lap. We'll have festivities throughout the evening. The Zumba girls will be out there dancing and entertainment and whatever our teams have, because this year we are this is our local theme, Snipers Relaying to Cure Cancer. And this is a t-shirt that you can get by contacting me.
Okay, and did you give a contact number?
912-389-6106, or hit me up on Facebook.
All right, Kathy, keep up the fight and the great programming. We'll be back with more Douglas on My Mind right after this break. We're back from break, and joining me on the show now is Patty Merritt, who is our Main Street Coordinator for the City of Douglas. Patty, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Georgia.
Glad to have you here. I wanted you to talk about two events that you have upcoming in downtown Douglas. One is the Downtown Spring Open House. Tell us what this involves.
What this